Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, you've put yours here. So you hope to understand what social media marketing entails. I joined the session because I want to become a digital marketer. So this will help me know where to start my career from. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so today's session, as I said, my slides are actually just 5. Ignore the 40 there. I just put, I think about 5 or 6, yes. And I decided to do that because most of the sessions or most of the trainings that I have, there were times I used to prepare a lot of slides and I end up just talking and talking and talking. And then by the end of the session, people will bring in questions which I didn't touch on, and then it prolongs the session. So I'm going to present in, let's say by 2:30, yes, I should be done. And then we would talk about your questions, and then that would make that would help us along the way. And then because it's also a recorded session, I'm sure that it would help all of us and those that will join in later. It will really help us. And okay, you're also looking for internship opportunity. Okay, that's great to know. Okay, so the today I've more like separated them into 4 sessions. So the introduction, that's the basics of social media marketing. And then I'll go to Twitter, I'll go to LinkedIn, and then I'll just conclude. So that's just what I'll be doing today, not to bore you with a lot of long talks. So I don't know why the next slide is skipping long to load, but then it's just who am I, and I do digital marketing, I do social media marketing, as I stated earlier. I also do brand consulting for other companies. There are people that come to me with their companies, their brands. Maybe they are starting and they need ideas as to how to go about it. So I'm glad that Sheila is here having a startup. So after 2:30, we would have a nice interaction, and then we would really talk much and then understand how to go about all the things that has to do with social media marketing. So that's me. So this is my favorite quote, which says, imagine a world in which every single person on the planet is given free access to the sum of all human knowledge. So how I understand this quote is, right now, Google has almost every information that you need, every information. There was a time I actually typed my name in Google. Initially, I didn't know that you could search my name on Google and then find information. But then I tried it and I got a lot of info, blog posts that I had posted, websites I had been featured on, newsletters I had posted. I got all those information. So basically, digital marketing, social media marketing gives us access to all human knowledge, because now every brand has a website. Almost all brands have social media pages, and it makes it easy for people to get access to a lot of information. And this is one thing that cuts across every session I go into. So social media marketing demands consistency. Every single thing that we do in life, if it has to do with you gaining weight, if it has to do with you learning to pass an exam, if it has to do with you even cooking, you need to be consistent. Consistency is one of the things that cuts across all social media. And I didn't talk about this. I'm actually going to do the basics of social media marketing and then explain a lot about like general social media marketing, and then later touch on the Twitter and LinkedIn. I hope that is fine.
Yes, please, that's fine.
Sure. So treat your social media pages like courses in school that need you to cross certain pass marks. So for me personally, when I hadn't even started doing social media marketing as more like a profession or working as a digital marketer, I made it a point to apportion some hours in my day just to be on social media. So that is one thing that you need to have in mind. So you need to apportion time for every social media engagement you have to do. So you don't just have to just get up one time and decide that, okay, today I'm going to post online, and then you stop posting for like 3 weeks and you go back again. So as a brand, as a startup, as a company, if you want to invest into social media marketing, you need to be very consistent. You need to make sure that if I'm starting with this tempo, I'm maintaining it. You don't start by maybe making posts every day, and then the next week you go off, the next week you go off, then you come back, you post once in a week. It doesn't help your digital image. It doesn't help, even it doesn't put you in Google rankings, because when your posts are not being viewed by a lot of people, it makes it hard for people to really find you out online. Next slide is taking long to load. Yes, so another thing that has to do with social media marketing is that you need, there's a lot of investment that goes into it. Sometimes I find people thinking that social media marketing is just you posting online and then that's it. No. Social media marketing needs a lot of investment. So there's a part of graphic designing, there's a part of data analytics, there's a part of you doing content writing, there's a part of you venturing into content marketing, and there's even influencer marketing as well. So all these aspects are all under digital marketing. But when you are looking at just social media marketing, all these are very, very important. That is why sometimes you see that certain brands would pick these TikTok influencers to make posts for just their brands, so that people would see them, would realize that this is what they do. So these are basic tips. These are things that I do personally with all social media pages I handle, and I hope that is going to help all of us. So the first is to set goals that make sense for your business. So as Sheila said that she is having a medtech startup, you need to set goals. So what do you seek to achieve with social media marketing for your brand? What is it that you want to do? Is it that you want to get clients from there? Is it that you want to educate people? Is it that you just want to put out your brand online, just so more like you solidify your brand on social media? So you need to set goals that make sense for your business. So there's a time I was working with an organic company, and one of our goals was to translate our attraction into clients. So that meant that we needed to tailor our posts in a way that people that see them, it would attract them to go to our e-store to buy from there. So once you know your goals, you now take time to research into your target audience. So the point is, on social media, we have 1 billion people, a lot of people online going on social media, going on Google to search for information. We have a lot. People like almost everybody in Ghana currently. I mean, there are points where you will see a very young person holding a phone on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. You see people having social media accounts, a lot of people. So there's a lot of audience on social media. There's a lot. And you need to understand the people that you want to target. So let's say as a medtech startup, maybe you might want to target people that are, let's say, between a specific age range, or you want to target people that maybe like to read about health. Maybe you want to target people that are into technology. So you need to research into these target audiences, and then you tailor your posts to more like appeal to them. So let me use an example. So there could be a page that more like talks about, let's say, music, right? So, sorry, there's a page that maybe talks about music, and maybe it could, let's say, reggae music, right? And reggae music is really liked by all walks of life. I've seen older people that like reggae, I've seen younger people that like reggae. But let's say if your page targets just high life, and high life young people don't really like high life like the older generation does. So probably your target audience for that might be people above 35 years. So if that is your target audience, that is where you need to make Google your friend and then read about what interests people around these ages. So let's say people around 35 years, they wouldn't want to read. They would want videos. You know, our parents and our uncles and aunties, they sometimes send us videos as long as like 30 minutes, but then they watch everything. And when you ask them what the content of the video is, they can tell you everything. But send the same video to an 18-year-old lady, she wouldn't even watch. She would watch maybe the first 10 or 20 seconds or 30 seconds, and the rest, they would just leave it because their attention span is really short. So in that way, if you are targeting an audience that is between, let's say, the ages of 18 to 35, you need to make sure that if you are putting out a video, it shouldn't exceed, let's say, a minute, because the rest of that, they wouldn't watch because it wouldn't really, their attention span gets done at like 1 minute. And after that, they are not going to watch the rest. So you need to research into your target audience. You need to also establish your most important metrics and KPIs. So KPIs are key performance indicators. So let's say I will still go back to Sheila's startup. So let's say Sheila decides that these are my goals, this is my target audience. So my KPI is that by the end of, let's say, June 2022, I want to reach about 1,000 people, 1,000 people on all my social media pages, or I want to reach about 500 people on Twitter. I want to reach about 100 people on LinkedIn. So you need to establish that so that it will direct you as to what to do. And then when you realize that, oh, okay, this is my KPI, I'm not reaching it. What should I do better to reach this goal? What should I do better? So on Facebook like this, there's an app called Business Suits. I hope you write it down. It's called Business Suits. So Business Suits actually gives you access to schedule your post. It gives you the analytics on your page. So it shows you that, okay, this particular post reached 10 people. The 10 people that your post reached are between these ages. They are male, or let's say 10% of the 10 people are males, 90% are females, or 10% of them are below the ages of 18, 20% of them are between the ages of, let's say, 18 to 35. So these metrics, you need to really establish them and understand the people you want to reach, so that when you have access to the app and you realize that, oh, these are the people that I wanted to target, but then I'm still not reaching them, then you need to take new steps to reach them. I hope we understand. The next would be to create and curate engaging social content. So this all what I'm saying cuts across all social media pages, not just for Twitter and LinkedIn. So you need to make sure that you create content that allows people to engage, on your page. So most of the time you can see a very, very good post, but then you realize that people have not commented on them. That could be that the audience on that page are really not interested in it, or they have not taken steps to really maybe in the post. There was a time I made a very long post and I put in a lot of questions. So by the time I realized, I got a lot of engagement because there were questions inside the long post and people found it very intriguing to answer them. So you need to create content that would engage your audience so that you would be able to get the kind of engagement you want. So these things are written. As you can see, I made it, although I didn't list them in more like an alphabetical order or a chronological order, but then you need to make sure that all these things are covered, because you can't create engaging content when you don't understand your audience. When you understand them, you would know what content would really engage them. And then you make sure that you make your social presence as timely as possible. So this has to do with the consistency, which I spoke about earlier. So you need to be consistent. You need to make sure that your post, so with the Business Suite app I mentioned again, it gives you the times where people are very active on your page. So when you realize that, okay, so most people that visit my page come here around, let's say 11 a.m. So when you realize that, okay, this is one of this is the time that people engage on my page, you make sure that your posts are always scheduled for that time, because that is the time that people will be there to read it. And another thing is, there's this test run I make on most of the pages I start managing. So I make posts 3 times in a day. So I take 1 week to do that test run. So let's say on Monday, I make a post. Mostly I start 8 a.m., 1 p.m., and then 5 p.m. So I make a post 8 a.m. I make another post 1 p.m. I make another 5 p.m. So I do that from Monday to Friday. And that helps the Business Suite app to really gather all the necessary information you need. So when you go to Business Suite, it will actually show you that, oh, maybe this post you made at 1 p.m. gathered a lot of people. Maybe the post you made at 5 got a lot of engagement. So you can make informed decisions through that. So you can try the test run. If you are starting a new page, you can start with this test run and then see the times that people are very active on your page, and then use that to make your decisions. And the next will be to assess what is working, what isn't, and how to keep improving. So this goes back to the test run I said. So let's say you realize that you make posts in the morning and then you get 0 likes. And then there's a time you tried one afternoon and you realize that at 12 noon you got a lot of likes. So you can decide that, okay, maybe it's at 12 noon that people go on breaks. So that is when people take their phones to go on social media. So you can realize that, oh, this is the time that people are really active online. So let me improve on it. Or maybe you created a video of, let's say, 5 minutes, and you realize that analytics also sometimes shows you the attention span of your audience. Sometimes it does. So you realize that, oh, after, let's say, 1 minute, 30 seconds, people didn't watch the rest. So you make decisions based on that metric you have to create your videos within that short time, so that it doesn't extend to, let's say, 2 minutes and then people don't watch it. And then the last would be bring other departments into the mix. That's graphic design, that's SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. So you can, let's say if you have a website, you tailor or you work on your site, you work on your site, and you probably have to get people that are very more like experienced in SEO writing, and they help you build your site in that direction. So graphic design, that has to do with let's say your posters, your flyers, how you design them. There are apps like Canva, Adobe. It really helps you to more like help put your brand out there. It helps you to put your brand, solidifies it, and then makes people realize that, because people like to buy into what they see a lot. You know, there are people that can buy from, I've seen people give lots of bad reviews about Jumia because they saw a very nice bag on Jumia, and when the bag came, it was maybe smaller than they expected, but then they bought what they saw. That doesn't mean that we should be doing that, but that makes it clearer for us to know that people buy into what they see. People buy into what they see. So when you make sure that your posters or your flyers are very catchy, they are engaging, it makes it easy for people to really engage more with your post. So that there are a lot of things you can do for social media marketing, but then these are the basics. You need to make sure that you have all these covered. So back to the target audience, there's something called consumer persona template. You can just Google that. You can get a lot of posts, and then you can look at the ones that relate best with your brand, and then you use it. So a consumer persona template makes you understand the people that engage on your post. So let me give an example. Let's say Sheila's MedTech. She creates a post, and then she gets, let's say, 5 likes. So you create a consumer persona template for all these 5 people. And then let's say I'm one of the people that liked her post. So she goes to my page, looks at, checks my profile, my personality, posts I make, things I have liked, maybe pages that I like to follow, if I'm a health person, or maybe if I'm into technology, and also check on posts I have made myself. So maybe she realized that, oh, maybe I like to do gender advocacy. Okay, so these are the people that are on my page. And then you use that kind of information to tailor your post to grab them on your page. And one of the things that is good about this is that when you are able to catch the attention of the first 5 people that like your page, these 5 people will keep liking your content, and your content would appear on all these 5 people's friends pages. So if I like your post, if I have, let's say, 5,000 people following me on, let's say, Facebook, all these 5,000 people might get your content suggested to them because I have liked it. And then that would help you to get more views, more followers, more people, if it's clients you want, people that are interested in your content. And that is because you tailored content that I was interested in, and my audience was also interested in your content. So that is one thing that we all need to check. And then words. You need to make sure that keywords are catchy, and then they grab your audience attention. So you need to make sure that you are not just writing captions anyhow. So this still goes into the basics. So you need to make sure that your captions for posts. So let's say if you manage let's say a makeup school, and then you realize that people are not really liking your post, they are not really engaging and all that, you check on your captions. That's why I said earlier that make Google your friend. You can just type captions for med tech companies. You get a lot of results. You go through them, you pick the ones that are relevant to your brand. You look through these captions, and then you pick inspiration from there, and then you create engaging captions that would help people to engage on your page. So let's go to the next slide. Let me check my time. Oh, I've passed the 2:30. So let me just use 7 minutes to finish up so that we can have the discussion. So I decided that I was going to use my page to explain the LinkedIn aspect. Then Twitter, I also explained that. So I'm going to share my LinkedIn page right now, and I would use that to explain to you how you can make good use of LinkedIn to help your brand. And then I'll use some of the companies I manage their pages as well to show you. Okay, my page is still loading. And I hope that we are taking notes, and I would be glad if you have any questions, start typing it in the chat box, just so you don't forget, and then we might skip it. So please, if you have any questions, just put it in the chat. Just type it in. You can send it directly or just put it in the general chat box so that I can touch on all of them once I'm done. I don't know why this thing is skipping long. Share, okay. Okay. So can you see my screen, please? Hi, can you see my screen, please? Just want to be
It's still
sure.
loading. It's still loading.
It's still loading. Okay. Please let me know when you see.
Yeah, it's on now.
Okay, that works. Okay. So this is my LinkedIn news feed. So I'm going to go on my page and then I just take you through basics of your personal page, and then we can look at how to use it for your brand. I'm just hoping I can finish this within the time I've allocated. I don't know why today or 4 days my internet has just decided to be very slow. Yes. So this is my personal page, and LinkedIn is one of the social media pages that has really helped me personally. So I have other sessions that I've done teaching people about LinkedIn, and LinkedIn using LinkedIn on a laptop gives you a different interface, and using it on the phone also has a different interface. So if you haven't used LinkedIn on a laptop before, I'm sure this will look quite different to you, but then this is how LinkedIn looks on a laptop. And from my page, with LinkedIn, you need to make sure that your picture, that's the what we call profile picture, is more like a headshot. So a picture that shows the kind of brand you want to put out. So there's let's say Kofi Kenata on LinkedIn. When you look at his what's it called, the cover photo, it portrays music. You see a lot of music content on his page. You can visit someone like Edward Asari, who is also a digital marketer. You see a lot of digital marketing content on his page. So the kind of brand you want is what you would tailor your post and your more like your page to suit. So there's a summary part where you write who you are, what you want people to know about you and all that. So that should that's like your CV, because people I've gotten a lot of jobs from LinkedIn in the past. So your about is more like your CV, where anybody at all that visits your page sees and then catches the person's attention. So that is one of the things that you need to also make sure that you actually put out all the information that you think you want people to know about you. So after the about, there's a featured part where, let's say if there's a blog that's featured you, or there's a website that you've posted an article on, or maybe you've posted on, let's say, Ghana Web or something. So you put all those parts at your featured. And this is a page for just yourself. This is not a company page. When I'm done, I'll just show you easily how to create a company page. And these are your experiences, companies you've worked with, your educational background, courses you've taken, certifications you have, volunteering experience, the skills you have, recommendations that people have given, and accomplishment, that's publications you've done, languages, courses, organizations, and then the next part is just your interest. So let me go to the part where you create a company page, or how to go about it. It's quite easy. On a phone, it's quite complex because you'd have to go to your settings, and where at the settings part, you see a search tab, which looks like this. So you see a similar search tab like this, and then you just type create a company page. But when you are using a laptop, it's very easy. You go to the work part and then it's here. So create a company page. So we are going to create a company page. So you select if it's a small business, a large, medium to large, if it's just a showcase, or is an educational institution. So let's say we are creating a new business. I will delete it, but then I just want to go through the process with you. So yeah, so the name, the URL. So the URL should be very easy. So let's say if your company's name is very long, you can just use an abbreviation. So these are company pages I've created already. So let's say Jeb's Eye Care. The main page was Jeb's Eye Care, which was quite known, which didn't have this hyphen and all that. But then when you are doing the URL, you can do it in that way. If you have a website, you put it here, which industry it is. So for Sheila, she says a medtech. So you look to see if there's a medical technology something. If you don't see that, you check technology. So let's see if there's something that has to do with technology here. So you go through that, you select what your company is into, because LinkedIn takes all these information so that they show your page to people that would be interested in your content, your company size, your company type, and then your logo. So you have that. These are basics for all companies. Every company that wants to have a social media presence should have a logo. You put your logo out here and your tagline. So your tagline can be just a sentence, maybe a medtech company that seeks to educate people about medical technology or something. Then you verify that you are authorized, and then it will give you all the information. So if I had typed in the names, everything would have showed here with the logo and all that to show you how the page would look. So once you are done with that, the page is up. So I'm going to open one of the pages I recently created. So open mic. So I created this, I think, about a week ago. So view as a member. Yes. So mostly when you visit LinkedIn, so currently it has 24 followers. So one thing that I do to get people to like the page and all that, there's a part where LinkedIn gives you more like credit. It's not credit like credit to call, but then credit to invite people to visit your page. So for me, I had invited people when I created it. So I still have 100 out of 100 credits. So I can invite 100 people who are in my connection to visit the page. So LinkedIn gives you that access to invite people. So let's say I just tap invite. So the person gets a message that I've invited him or her to follow this page. So that is one of the ways you can go about you getting more followers on your LinkedIn company page. And LinkedIn also works with hashtags. So let's say, let me just type hashtag, let's say hashtag women. Okay, so there's women entrepreneurs. So on LinkedIn, you can actually claim a hashtag. So you claim hashtags. So with Jeb's Eye Care, one of the company pages I created, I claimed the hashtag Jeb's Eye Care. So that would mean that everybody that follows Jeb's Eye Care hashtag, so once I follow this hashtag, the one that has access to this hashtag gets access to my page, and then it makes it easy for them to know what I'm interested in, and then they create more content that would get me more interested. And everybody that uses this women entrepreneurs hashtag, once the person makes a post, I get a notification that a post has been made with this hashtag. So regardless of the company or the brand you are managing, you need to look research, yes, I think that's the right word, research about hashtags that are relevant for your brand, so that you can make informed decisions and realize that, okay, so with my brand, these are the people, these are the hashtags, so these are the hashtags that are relevant to my company. Then you create content, and then you put in these hashtags at the end of the content. So let's look at this particular post. So you can see that she is talking about Women Impact, which is a virtual summit she would be speaking at. That's Larissa Kofi. And you can see she has just put these 3 hashtags. And when you go to her reactions, you can see she has 24. I want to go down a bit. So this also another woman who used the same hashtags, who is an Indian. And so one thing is that with these hashtags, it's not, unless maybe I type women entrepreneurs Ghana, that is where maybe I would only see Ghanaian content. But then this hashtag thing gives you access to a wide range of audience. So not just Ghanaian audience, but then foreigners and people that are not even in your particular location. So going back to, I think for LinkedIn, there are other, but then it would prolong the session. So there are other things like you engaging under post. So let's say if you are a medtech startup, as Sheila said she has, you can check and look for companies that are into medtech. So let me just see if I can find something, medical technology. Okay, so let's just look at this company like this. So Sheila can just search for companies that are into these and then engage under their post. So this is one medtech startup, and these are posts they have made. So you can just go here and then you comment in these. So once you comment under them, so you read their post and then you, let's say, oh, I really like what you posted. So this post talks about diabetic retinopathy. So you can just say this is an insightful video, and I think blah 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 blah. So it could just be, let's say, 2 lines, but then just so it makes you more visible. So everybody that visits Zay's Medical Technology has 73,000 followers. So once Sheila's startup comments under this post, all the 98 people that have liked this would get a notification that Sheila has commented here. And then they would want to see what Sheila does. And then that would help you to view all content and get people to also view your content as well. So as you can see, so this is a hashtag I follow, hashtag Elevate. So contents that are related to Elevate are always suggested to me for me to see. There are also groups on LinkedIn that you can join. I'm trying to see if there's another hashtag. So hashtag female founder is one of the hashtags. And you can also use LinkedIn to search for jobs. I think when we get to the question and answer part, I would touch on those ones as well. For Twitter, I want to brush to Twitter. With Twitter, one of the things that works with Twitter, and then I realized that with one brand I worked with, I did what's it called? More like how do you call this? An activation, I think, yes. More like an activation with Promasido. So when they were introducing Cowbell Gold, Cowbell Mocha, we did an activation and then we used hashtags. So on Twitter, you can see that when you go to Twitter and go to trending, Twitter will give you all the hashtags that are trending. So you just have to make sure that you are following these trending hashtags and you are using the ones that are relevant to you in your post, so that it makes it easy for people to view your content and then see the things that you are already putting out there. So and also the same applies to you engaging under posts, you making sure that you are getting people that will be interested in it, understanding the audience that will be interested in your content. And then these are the basics. There are a lot of technicalities which if I say I want to go into them, we are not going to close today. So I would be glad that you put in your questions. I'm going to touch on Humaida's question, which he says he wants to understand social media marketing. I'm sure that I've covered that in full, or even if I haven't, I'm sure I have given a fresh idea and a general idea about what social media marketing is. And then he also said he wants to be a digital marketer, so he is also looking for internship opportunities. So please, that's this. I want to end at this part. I'm going to answer this question, and I'm ending here with my presentation. So I will just go straight ahead to target the what Humaida asked, that has to do with what he is looking out for himself. So I'm just sharing my screen right now. Okay, so with Humaida's part, so with digital marketing, there are a lot of what's it called? There are a lot of information, a lot of knowledge that you can acquire from Google. There are a lot of platforms that you can visit to get access to a lot of information. So Google Digital Garage, you can just type on Google Digital Garage. So there's this digital marketing certification course, which you can take. I think it's 40 hours for, I think 2 weeks or so. So you can take that course, get the certification, because once you want to work as a digital marketer for a certain brand, some of them would want to see what certification you have before they give you the chance to manage their pages. So you can just go to Google Digital Garage, and then you take that course. And you can also use LinkedIn to search for these jobs. Let me just show a short how to use LinkedIn to just search for jobs. But then please type in your questions if you have any questions. Maybe there's something I mentioned that you didn't understand, or you had a question which I didn't touch on. You can feel free to ask that. I want to show how to search for the jobs. Yes, so let me just type, let's say, social media marketer. Okay, social media marketing in jobs, right? So it would give you a long list of social media marketing. It's still loading. So it will give you a long list. So you can now filter this result. So let's say past month, because there might be jobs that have been posted like a year ago and they will still be here. Experience level. So since Humaida is a new person, you can start by, let's say, beginner or something. So let's say internship or entry level, show result. And you can also choose if you want remote. So let's say you want a remote job. So you use this, and then after that, you set an alert. So once you set this alert, LinkedIn would remind you every time a company posts that they need social media marketers. This applies to all jobs. And yes, this part as well. So let's say if I want social media marketing jobs in Ghana. So I type Ghana, and it would also filter, yes. So it will give you all the social media marketing jobs that are in Ghana and are remote or are on site. Because I searched again, it went back. So let's say remote and let's say hybrid. So we have just 2 results for that. So these are the 2. So you just apply for them, and then you would receive information from them that this job is open. So please let's bring in our questions. I honestly want your questions because I'm sure that there was something that triggered you to join this session. So if I didn't touch on that, please put it in the chat box and let me touch on it. And with Shile Startup, I think I showed how to create the company page and searching about hashtags that are relevant to your field, and then making sure that you follow brands or content that are relevant to your company. So these are the basics. These are things that you would need to focus on to help you in your quest to get your digital brand out there. So please, if you have any questions, Humaida, Emanuela, Isaac, Sheila, please put it in the chat box. And I know this is also a recorded session. So if you want to reach out to me, my email is odamia17@gmail.com. So Odamia is just my name. So odamia17@gmail.com. You can just type on Google. You would let me show that. To get, maybe you might want to reach out to me later on. So Google. And I want to reach out to me later to discuss something. Maybe you want to understand things better. Maybe you want me to assist you with your brand, or maybe there could be anything that you need, you can just reach out to me. So I honestly don't know why today my internet is doing this. Okay, so Odamia Amoako. So yeah. So this will just take you straight to my LinkedIn. The next is Central Leadership Program. This is my Instagram. This is my Facebook. So if you want to reach out to me, you can just simply use this number. Is out of date. I don't use that anymore. But then you can just message me on any of the social media pages that are here, and then you will get access to every information, every detail that you need. Maybe you would want me to assist you with your brand, maybe your company, or any other thing that has to do with social media or digital marketing, you can just reach out to me, and then I will take you through all that. And so I would want to finalize on Humaida's question. So with digital marketing and you wanting to start your career in digital marketing, it's quite easy, but then quite tedious, because people wouldn't want to just give you their pages to manage when they don't know what you can do. So for me personally, I started with internships and volunteering. So I volunteered with a lot of brands. I wasn't getting paid for them, but then I was doing them to build my experience, just so if I'm applying for a job elsewhere, it makes it easy for me to get access. So I volunteered for a lot of companies. I paged myself to brands on LinkedIn. So I checked companies that didn't have company pages at all on LinkedIn. I spoke to the owners, and then I told them that, oh, I do digital marketing and I want to assist them with their page. And then that is where I started from. And I did about 2 or 3 volunteering. And then after that, that was it. I got a lot of roles, a lot of companies that I started doing digital marketing for them. So Humaida, that is, you can start from there. So you can do the Google Digital Garage, that's the Google Digital Certificate course. You can take that, and you can also use Allison. Allison has these SEO courses, which I would recommend. And you can use Coursera. You can use all these online learning platforms to learn more about digital marketing, more about social media, more about how to use LinkedIn, how to use Twitter. And one good thing about LinkedIn as well is that LinkedIn gives you the access to even create a resume with the page you've created. So once you have tailored your page very well, you can just download a resume, which LinkedIn will just put together for you, and then you can use that to apply for jobs and do all that. Yes. So my session is ending in about 10 minutes. I think it's supposed to end at 3:15. So if you have any question, those that just joined in, we talked about using Twitter and LinkedIn, and then basics about social media. We talked about you being consistent with your page. I talked about you understanding your audience, understanding the people that are on your page and what content they would be interested in. I use an example that your page, maybe the brand you are putting out there is for, let's say, is a dieting company, and then you are targeting maybe people between the ages of 18 to 35. These are people that wouldn't want to watch very long videos. So if you are putting out videos on, let's say, LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Medium, you need to make sure that these videos don't exceed, let's say, a minute, so that the audience that you are targeting would pay attention to every information you've put there. So let's say even if the video is quite long, you can just cut them into, let's say, a minute, you post them, let's say during a week, you can divide a 3-minute video into 3, and then put all of them out there to get people to watch them and understand, and that would help them to engage more, because once you've created that kind of suspense with the videos that you did with you separated into days, it will make it easy for people to want to know more about it, and then it would grab their attention. And once they watch your videos, your page would be suggested to their followers. And then as time goes on, you'd realize that your brand would be out there. Lots of people would know about your company, and that would help you. So the last thing I said was for us to all put in our questions in the chat box so that I can touch on them. Since we are here, it's a recorded session, all right? But then if you have any question, just put it in the chat box so that I can touch on all of that, because you have the privilege to have me here to really answer all your questions. Those that watch the recorded session wouldn't have access to me answering all their questions. So please put in your questions in the chat so that I can answer all of them. We have about 15 minutes to end this session.